got you.
Yo, we back again. And I do have another special guest with me. You are in tune to ShoNuff Radio TV. I am your host, Mr. ShoNuff DZ. And I do have my brother, my padre, my homie, Mr. Captain Brownbeard, the lovely Miss GiGi, and my big brother, Mr. Aries, on the podcast. This is live. This is going down. This is going down. So y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button. Because if you don't, we will find you. So, we diving in. My brother got a slick player question for us. So, we're gonna pop it off like that. So, what's the question, bro?
So, my question was, name something that you truly regret. Something you've done that you truly regret. But honestly, you will probably do it again.
That's a good ass question.
Sleep with my ex.
Sleep with your ex. Why he said sleep with his ex? Elaborate on that, B. Elaborate.
All right, so ex is this a little more shallow than I was thinking about. Now, I want something that like it bothered you that you did it, or it came at a price that you did it, and you should have learned to listen from it.
Nigga, this
But
came at the price of
if
my
you in your heart of hearts, you probably do it again.
This came at the price of one of my trading accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Most
what I'm
like
saying.
the real listeners always
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, so he knows.
Yeah.
This came at the price of one of my trading accounts.
Can I tap in on that little bit for me?
As the kids today say, not too much.
Not too much. Well, my bro had an experience with a young lady that was fucking up his trading account. You know what I'm saying? It was a toxic little situation. And, you know, we rapped on it a few times, but he eventually got it right, you know. So, long story short, yeah, I totally understand what he's saying and I know what he means.
All right, so, and you would do it again with that same young lady?
No.
But see, so they ain't the question then. They ain't on topic. It's something you regret doing, but you would do again.
Damn, let me think about that.
Over leverage on a trade.
Over what?
Over leverage on a trade. Risk way too much on a trade.
Okay.
I say some shallow shit. Buying a car that I feel like I can't afford, but just because that bitch fine, I'll buy it again. That's what I'm gonna say.
All right.
Buying a slick whip. What's your thoughts on that, GiGi?
I've done a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of shit. I mean, from accidentally ending up in situations where I almost got kidnapped but ended up having a lot of fun, to other times where I was just like doing crazy shit, and then other times when I simultaneously just straight on a whim took a flight somewhere without even having enough money prepared, and all types of crazy shit. So I wouldn't even know which specific one to bring up, but I would definitely like to say it was when I moved to Compton just for the fun of it. And I definitely I took one walk to go get my check. I walked out of the apartment complex and all. And from there I saw an entire different world of danger and people just picking on people for no reason. And by the time I made it back home, I was like, maybe this wasn't the best idea for a young girl living on her own to come out here by herself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely do it again. It was a great experience.
I feel
Dangerous,
that.
but I came out of it unscratched.
So what's your thoughts on that, Mr. Aries?
So I was just in a bunch of toxic relationships when I was younger, and did a lot of jail time. A few of them I regret, but most of them I feel fairly justified in my response at that age and that mindset. So I probably do a lot of that shit again.
It's a
Certified crash out.
Okay.
Dead ass.
Okay.
You know what I was thinking that you would probably say when I actually said the question for the first time?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
What you thought I'd say?
I thought you would say something like, I regret having sex at an early age and having my first daughter because I was too young. But I would probably do it again because, love my child. I was thinking along those lines. When I first heard that question out loud, I thought you would say something like that.
You know what, though? I do regret having Anaya at an early age, but Anaya has grown up to be so beautiful and smart to me, and I just feel like, I got, my little boy just started walking, so shout out to Zozo. He's walking and he's 1, so I can't say I ain't doing it no more. That's why I'm like I ain't having no more children. But I can't say I regret that. I can't say I regret Anaya because Anaya is everything. So
I definitely don't think you regret her. I think you regret the being so early. But again, even with everything that happened the way it is, you'll do it all over again. Even knowing what you know now. You get what I'm saying?
You got a good point. I would if I would have known like back then and known the outcome how it's gonna be now. I probably still do it. Yeah, just because I want her. You know what I'm saying? Even all the bullshit that I went through, raising her and all that shit, I'm like shit. Fuck it. It's worth it though. You know what I'm saying? So shout out my baby Nana. She mad at me right now, but it is what it is. Next question. What you got for me?
My next question kind of piggyback off the ending of the last topic. All right, so everybody know what's going on in 2026. The world is a crazy place. Spaceships, aliens, zombies, presidents, data centers, just you name it. We probably can't go through 3 steps without triggering something, a trauma. Ain't got nothing to do with you, just a personal opinion. Your body, your choice. Say that to the top of my lungs. Everybody got the right to feel, do, whatever make you happy. Do you think it's a smart decision to have a child with the way that everything is shaping out?
With the world? Who want to dive in there first?
I think it's just like I said, I'm having my first kid when I'm 35. And it's all based off projected income. I think that question is an income-based question, just like most things in America are today. I think you can't have a certain level of security to provide to your family that's a level above all of the bullshit, because we live in a capitalist society that's built to be that way. It's no longer less, it's still racism, but it's less systemic racism and more play on low income and on poverty, making it harder, not only harder for you to get out of that level, but keeping you comfortable at that level also. You know what I mean?
Just to piggyback off that last statement that you made, I think it's kind of unfair. For me, and just what I know of about people, everybody experience in life is different. Everybody's perspective is going to be different. Right. But I think that a lot of people don't get comfortable at certain levels. I think that we got so good at making certain levels look comfortable. That surviving and doing what you got to do, and not letting it get you down, that it may appear like, damn, you don't want nothing more out of life?
Well, let me clarify that, because that was only, when I said comfortable, I only meant a certain percentage. Because I do believe that there are a certain percentage of people that are comfortable with getting handouts. I'm not saying that that's the majority of poverty of people, just a certain percentage. And I'm not even quoting a certain percentage because I don't know the numbers based off of that. But I personally know people that are way comfortable with having a lockdown type situation as long as they were getting stimulant benefits. But I also know people that are in a poverty situation based off of, situational shit. And they won't be there for long because they reach for the knowledge to get out. Or maybe they don't have the knowledge accessible. We had a podcast about this the other day when I asked, can you really fault a person for the choices they make if it's the only choices that are presented to them? They don't only have the knowledge of these choices. You know what I mean? So far from believe that, I believe that majority of the people in poverty don't want to be in poverty. But I do also believe that there are a certain amount of people that are comfortable in there, and maybe also believe that they play a part in our economy also. Maybe you need people that want to be sheep.
Right. Well, okay. Let me piggyback
Go
on
ahead.
that. I feel like in America, this country is really built with opportunities. Even if you do have children like myself, I haven't. I've struggled, but I've also found a way not to struggle more than I did struggle. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all about your perspective on how you look at situations and wrap your mind about what you got going on. Now, there's countries in the world that people that are in more poverty than we can ever imagine, and they still more happier and live real happy with the shit that they got, even if it's minimal. Than us.
That, though.
You know what I'm saying? They can be like, I've seen podcasts and YouTube channels of people visiting people in other countries, and they living under bridges and having children, and they happy as fuck. So it's kind of like relative to your mindset and how you look at shit. With me having a 1-year-old and I have children, I can't look at the words like, oh, goddamn, I'm gonna fold because I done brought another soul into this world. I look at it as like, well, it's another thing that I have to figure out. But I'm so strong with the Most High. I be like, shit, if mama them made it and they struggled with us, I can make it and struggle with my children if need to be. You feel what I'm saying? So I can't say like it's.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. It's a lot of people with that type of
relative.
mindset.
It's relative to the way you look at life. I feel like shit, I've been getting what I want. You know, and I ain't rich, but I've been like, okay, I ain't poor neither. So everybody
GiGi,
got to
you got a
work.
comment?
I have my own perspective, but from a whole different outlook
Love
on
to hear it.
reality right now, because especially with how you presented the question to begin with. It's 2026. There are aliens. There's all types of things going on. The economy is not stable. The entire world is not stable. The veil is thin. You know, it's all types of crazy things happening on all different levels. So when you ask if we would have kids, considering those factors as well, like when I got pregnant with my daughter, that was like towards the end of my pregnancy. One thing I was majorly aware of: kids born after 2020 are definitely going to be living in a future reality where that is part of their day-to-day basis, where they're not just dealing with AI, they're not just dealing with robots, they're not dealing with an over-controlling, government. They're also dealing with aliens being in our midst. They're going to be dealing with all types of crazy things, and we're basically having kids that will most likely be soldiers. But at the same time, I do have the perspective that they will be the humanity's hope, for example. So whether you have kids or not, it's just like, are you going to allow your bloodline to continue and have a chance to fight to come out on the other side of that?
Right.
Because the next 2 to 3 generations are the ones that's going to be on the other side. The generations being born right now are the ones that's going to get them through it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I add on to my answer?
I agree with that.
Go ahead, sure.
So I always get this little. I'm a new again Christian, so I always get these little messages every now and then. And this is a message that I just received that I want to pass on.
No, great, Christian, my boy.
Can they hear the hand? Can y'all hear the hand clap thing?
I can hear you, but I probably need to cut you up just a little bit. I don't want to make it
because
go.
I got sound effects all on my board. I don't think y'all can hear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just hit the cheer thing on the board.
So I feel like as long as I've done the work that I need to do, and God has presented me with the wife that I need to have, then of course I'll have children because I'm on the path that's protected by God. You see what I mean? So I won't have to worry about what's going on out there.
Right.
Because when you accept God, or on some day trading talk, when you accept being a day trader, you accept a level of uncertainty. You know, there's a level of uncertainty that you have to be comfortable with. That your path isn't in your hands right now.
Right.
It's in, and you just gotta try the best you can to treat people nice and be the best parent you can and just be as happy as possible.
Right.
And know that God got the rest.
Right. So and that's what I learned to do, bro. Yeah. I had to leave a lot of shit into God's hands, like a lot of situations. And I can't be like, now I'm scared because my kids here. Ain't no being scared now, nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
I think
take it a day at a time.
I think you're gonna segue into my point of view. So my thoughts on the situation is the first thing that I ask myself when it ever pertains to having kids or potentially having kids or bringing a child in the world, how much would it be about me versus how much would it be about the child? So what is if it's more so selfish that this is what I want in my life, and I just want kids, I want to keep my bloodline going, da 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 da. It's gonna affect my life. I'm gonna be happy. It's gonna make me da 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 da. But then the other side of it is, okay, well, once you get past you, what's the outcome looking like for the said child that you're actually bringing? That personality, that spirit, that energy, that, you know what I'm saying? Are you setting them up to be great? Is it going to be an unfair advantage? Are you setting them up in a situation where it's just going to be struggle and it's going to be, let's just pray to God, work it out, da 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 da, and we just going to thug it out. If I can make it, you can make it, and nigga, I'm tough, I'm strong. You can thug it out too. I'm gonna have you as much as I have you. So that's what my mind always splits down the middle with. How much is it a consideration for yourself versus the potential being that you're bringing into this realm? And where does that balance meet?
Well, what I've learned once you have children, it ain't nothing about you. Like, and then when you realize that it's easier to parent, it's easier to deal with your children and be a parent because you helping them, you are helping yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a good parent, now you can have children and just be like, fuck them, and it is what it is. But
it is what it is.
If you want to goddamn just stick it out and, you know what I'm saying, raise decent children and shit like that, it ain't gonna be about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, your everyday life is gonna consist on what they want, how they feel, and sacrificing everything you work for them. And that's what I learned to deal with. I'm like, shit, it is what it is. And I don't look at it like a job. Like, my kids generally, like, when I'm fucked up and I'm upset, my son will say some shit to make me smile and make me happy, or he just player shit to make me happy, looking at them when we be outside just chilling. And I'll be like, damn, like, they happy as hell with life. Like, they free for real. So I'm like, I can't be mad around them just because I'm upset about some shit. I gotta level up the way I'm thinking right now and change my attitude just because I can match their energy. Because the kids will have you, it ain't all about, it's about you too, but your children will have you, it'll bring, they'll, you know how old people say young people make them feel young and shit? Like, they'll bring light and life into you when you need it for real, and they make you feel young. Like, they make you feel like you can go through another day. You know what I'm saying? That's what I experienced. That's how my kids make me feel.
Something that Martin said that really stuck out to me is basically allowing them to come into this world and bring them into this world, with the idea that they may have a certain success rate, or if we got it, et cetera, et cetera. Right. One thing throughout the longest times on Earth, and I'm talking about down to right now, there are many places that are underdeveloped. Or, for example, like, I was born 25 years ago, in 2000, and I was born in the middle of the desert. If people at that time, or within any circumstance or any place, had the idea of, oh, I should only have children if it will benefit the longevity of the child, if they won't have hardship, nobody would be born. Because my people, when I was born, they live in tents. They ride camelbacks. They may find water, they may not. They get water once they cut down some trees or palm trees. They survived for a few hundred years on nothing but milk and dates,
Right.
So, like, if they had the idea
that's what I agree with. I because you just can't base having a family on what you perceive to be hard in life. You ain't gonna never have shit. Like, time gonna go by anyway. So if you want to do it, you need to do it and just deal with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So
it's only hard the first
I'm gonna speak from a species view. Like, I don't know if that's a word. Species is probably not. But so So maybe it's not just a sacrifice for you, and maybe it's not just a sacrifice for your child. Sometimes maybe it gotta be bigger than that. So there are plenty of billionaires that are born from nothing, right? So, and every generation that's produced gives your bloodline a better percentage of reaching that higher type of living for your family than if you would have just stopped your bloodline altogether. You know what I mean? So perhaps that's what generations are for. You know, making greater humans who have the power to reach for excellence regardless of lower situations that they may be in. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you stop producing, you stop fighting for that bloodline.
Right. Because they say
there's something else I want to add real quick. There's something that I was recently reading about, right? So apparently, you know how like some people believe in reincarnation, some people don't. So like reincarnation is a real thing, but like it doesn't happen how people think about it. There's also doppelgangers, etc., right? But within certain bloodlines, certain people that were basically like, let's say somebody lived their life, they had a lot of wisdom, they tried to teach as many of their grandchildren, etc., as they can, and then throughout the bloodline, that person is able to reborn only through a specific person and into their child, whether it's later in life or early in life.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, once somebody is meant to be born throughout your life, certain things, like, and mind you, it's specifically through.
When a ghost comes up in that motherfucker, you be like,
that's Mari. I know that's Mari. I knew it. It was Mari.
like, should we run
She was like specifically thing. Pause.
Should we run too?
It just, I can't even explain what she pulled up with it. But whatchamacallit? So basically, like, it's certain, it's like, you know how like there's like recessive genes and then dominant genes? It's something like that, and each kid, like let's say like somebody has, for example, Mama Sue, she has 3 kids. You're the oldest. Based on how they come out, the first one always has the majority of the genetics. Like everything goes into them, and the more somebody has kids, the less genetics are left out for the other kids. It's not that they won't be born; they will be born, but the genetics will lessen and lessen as the bloodline goes on from a specific person. But there's always a specific sequence of genetics that's supposed to come out through each person. So when you have a kid, it's not just, I would like, not to say it like that, but to basically say it's kind of not your choice.
Right, it's bro. And I'm telling you, it's not your
So
choice, bro.
just to piggyback off what you're saying, because I've had these thoughts for a little minute, so I feel like this ties into it. So, like the reincarnation cycle, and you know, being predispositioned to be born and within certain criteria to be met.
Yeah.
Me myself speaking personally, I feel like when it comes to reincarnation and the cycles, everybody got their own cycle, everybody on their timeline, but I think it's like levels to it, and then it's timelines and dates to it. It's like, you know, every season ends, every da-da-da-da-da. And I personally feel like certain people, certain individuals that have been through this cycle, da-da-da-da-da, it might be your 1,500,000 times going through a cycle timeline, you know, waiting for this perfect opportunity to be born or to go through whatever you need to go through. And at a certain point, you're like, okay, I've learned so many lessons over the centuries, da-da-da-da-da. This is physically and literally not just a cycle bringing, not just a level thing. I reached that level within my reincarnation and my cycle, but this is it for me. There's no reason for me to continue my bloodline. There's no reason for me to make a soul contract to come back down here. This is the final test for me. You know, and whatever happens after this or this test, I'm just officially done. Now, it may be a situation where, you know, you could have to, if you fail your final one, go back a few chapters or something like that. But I feel like for the day and age that we're in right now, with everything that's going on in the world, a lot of people with this mass consciousness, is the moment of awakening, age of Aquarius, I think that we're at a pivotal cycle point where a lot of people are just going to be jumping off the ship as a whole. Now, there's going to be a lot that's going to be left around, probably have to reset and start it over and whatever. But I feel like genuinely there's, you know, a lot of us is just from some old souls that don't been here, done that. We're finally getting to the point where this is it for us. We're going to reach a next level of something else, and we'll have to come back and do this
Right.
aspect of growth or consciousness or awareness and da 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 da. And I think that's one of the primary things that made me never ever want to have kids in any type of, and why my mindset is so different. Like I genuinely, if reincarnation, this I don't want to say it way off into anything else, but for me, there in my awareness now, I would never ever want to. I've already made my deals, you know what I'm saying, my conscious. I'm not coming back. I already know this is the last go around for me. So hopefully I'm gonna pass. So I live like I'm ready for this next level of consciousness, energy, awakening, and being, because I already know I ain't doing it again. So and it's just something that you just know. For me, I've always known.
I feel like with you, your path probably wasn't to have children anyway, because you got a lot of nieces and nephews. So, and the thing is, it's like everybody's journey is different, just like you said. So,
right.
Even with me having the children that I have, the way they came and the way I found out that I was having children, bro. Believe it or not, it was so crazy. I was never ready for now one of them. So it was like I be feeling like God was just like, all right, he's coming. You know what I'm saying? And whether you like it or not, because the woman that I was with, she was like, bro, it ain't no abortion, it ain't none of that woo-de-woo. And I was like, shit, okay. You know what I'm saying? So it went like I planned anything. And the way a child come into your life, it be like, you never ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing that you can have all the money, but when you be like, all right, shit. When that time, when she said, you nigga, it's that time, you be like, oh shit, like what I supposed to do now? I was scared a lot. I was scared every time I had a baby. I was scared as fuck because I didn't want to let my seed down. You know what I'm saying? Or I wasn't ready or some shit. That shit is something that like you can never be prepared for, bro.
And I get it, but for me personally, I always knew, like, as long as I had a consciousness and awareness, there's never been a desire for me to procreate. And as far back as I can always remember, I've always thought that, you know, that would just be the destruction of me. Having a child or bringing, I've always felt like that would be the most horrible top things that could ever happen to me in my life. It would implode, destroy. I could not ever be that devoted to another.
Right.
I don't have a life cycle where I can invest in anybody in that magnitude.
I'm telling you, you know how they say people grow on you, like children grow on you too, like and they grow on you pretty fast. Like for a man, it's different. From a woman, they automatically attach to the child. You know what I'm saying? And a man is kind of relevant to his relationship with the mother and the child. So it's like if you dealing with a woman that don't keep you in that cycle with your child, it's hard to connect to your child. You know what I'm saying? And build a personal relationship. You gotta want to do that.
I hate that soundbite that you just gave, only because I know plenty of people, I ain't gonna name them that, and you know a few too, that their relationship with their child is conditioned on the relationship with the mother. I think that is trash.
Right, it is.
Yeah, that's
me personally. When I found out like this ain't gonna be that with the mother, I didn't want that to affect my relationship with my children, because they all they grow up so goddamn fast, it don't make no sense. So it's like when you see them develop into their own personality and shit, it kind of, you be like, what the fuck? It be like, all right, so I'm dealing with this person, like he is his own person. Like my kids are individual, like they become to an age like you don't even have to deal with the spouse no more you had a child with, because the baby develop their own characteristics, you know what I'm saying? And then they start to do shit that you used to do. They become like little mini versions of yourself.
Of course.
And then you be like, what the hell? Like witnessing that shit is be like, God got to be in work. God got to be in the mix of it, because like especially if they look just like you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a clone. My boys look like
It's
just
definitely
like
a clone.
me. You know what
Definitely
I'm
a
saying?
clone.
And when they around me and I'm looking at them, I'm like, damn, like they like little mini me's, but they like they self. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm just a happy father. Like I'm proud to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? That's what I stand on. Sis, no, I'm like I'm one of them ones when it comes to family. Like I really put my family over everything. Like that's all I got. So when I be broke and shit like that, and I'm with my boys, I'm just broke with my boys, but we still good. You know what I'm saying? If I'm up with my boys, I'm up with my boys. So they don't judge me on that shit. They just still love me unconditionally just because I'm daddy. And they look at me like, Daddy, what we gonna do? Like, we gonna go out and have fun, or what? We gonna just sit in that fucking house? You know? I can't pay for that. It's like love from your children. You can't pay for that. Now, when they grow up and not want to deal with your ass, then whatever. Like, they become their own person and they old enough to, you know what I'm saying, to know what they really want in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta let them be. You gotta let God deal with them.
So let me ask you guys a question, because most of you guys are parents, right? All of you are parents, about to be parents. You got one on the way, right? Or you not? You don't have one on the way? I thought you said you had one on the way.
I thought, yeah, you mentioned it the similar way.
Uh-huh.
So I heard the same thing too.
Yeah, I thought you said you was having your first child at 30 something.
35.
30. So you have a child.
No, 32.
Wayne, 32.
Huh?
Yeah, Wayne.
I'm not having my child till I'm 35 is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Until you're 35.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when I'm gonna start wife hunting and shit.
Yeah.
So let me ask you two a question then. How do you determine when it's time to shape your child versus when it's time for your child to let their own personality through and be who they're shaping themselves to be, and, like, you know what I'm saying, who they've grown into? Is there a moment where you're like, okay, I probably need to step back and watch and observe and see who you become, or do I need to be more hands-on? Like,
But
how do you?
let me say something first. You never stop shaping your children. Like, it's a lifetime thing. So it's like they always gonna come to you and need advice for something. You know what I'm saying? Because you who you are, right? But when they little, like right now, my daughter 18, and Anaya is she at an age is that I have to let her go out and experience whatever the fuck that she want to do in life, and just guide her along the way. Because if I try to hold her hand, then she gonna run away from me. That's how she is. You know what I'm saying? So when she called me and asked me about some shit, I'm there, but I can't be like, oh, you call me every time you out, you make sure you this, and every time you do this, then she gonna be like, Dad, you doing too much. Like, I'm old enough to handle myself at this point. You know what I'm saying? But I can't never stop helping her develop in her mind. You know what I'm saying?
GiGi,
like, I
you got a
think that
comment?
shit is forever.
My daughter's 2, gotta be 3. You kind of find out about the base bottom line system of their nature around this age. Is what I'm seeing.
Right.
But you, like he said, you don't stop shaping them, because even at 2 years old, they say like, oh, is this okay? Is this okay? They get into certain habits, and their habits aren't just mental, and in their actions, it's actually mentally and physically as well. So, like, let's say, one thing that I learned back when she was really, really, like, I think around a few months old, your physical nervous system, the same way it holds memories, the same way it recycles and repeats until you break the cycle of what the physical experience is. Same thing with the mental, same thing with their own physical habits, the things that bring in dopamine and gets them really happy and excited. All those things, you start shaping them when they're little, but you don't start shaping their personality until, I would definitely say, from what I've seen kids' comprehension at, around like 4 to 5 years old is when you start introducing them to things.
I was just about to say that about 5 years old.
Yeah.
When they get about 5.
from certain
Yeah,
things. But once
'cause
they're older, you start bringing them to start
yeah,
knowing and seeing different
cause
things.
when they get up to 5, they like a sponge. They whatever you want them to learn early. Like I had Junior on Miss Rachel until up to his age now. Junior is 3. And he's so fucking smart because I only wanted him to learn at an early age, his numbers, his letters, and all that shit, and it helped so good because he speaks so clear. He just
He's
it's
been
like
speaking clear
this.
since he was 2.
That's what I'm
Numbers,
saying. Like he been on Miss Rachel since a baby. So if you teach them how to learn everything at an early age, it'll be easier to help mold them when they get a little older. You know what I'm saying? That's my perspective on it. You know.
All right. I can't be on much longer because I got to work in the morning. But I just want to bring up one more thing and get everyone's point of view and perspective on it before I have to log out. So I've heard a quote once before, and I find it to be true. I'm gonna ask you guys and see if you guys agree with it or not. Then I'm gonna have a follow-up question.
All right.
I was told that the person that you are today is the person that you wish was in your life. The person that you became today was the person that you wish you had in your life when you was a kid. Do you agree?
Yeah. For sure.
Who I am now? Yeah.
Wayne?
Yeah.
Easy. I'm a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I ain't
I
stand
totally
up for
agree
myself
with
at all
that.
when I was a child.
Like if I can go back and tell my younger version of myself some shit, I'd be like, yeah, bro. Like, I got you.
So in essence, what it's saying is that whatever you was lacking when you were younger and whatever you desired and what you wanted from someone else that you didn't get, you nurtured that in yourself, and it became a big part of who you are today because it was something that you were always lacking.
Right.
With that being the case, what do you think you were lacking?
Integrity.
You said, what was that?
Integrity.
So tell me about your personality today that made you feel like you were lacking integrity as a child.
So a lot of people think integrity is just the ability to always tell the truth, but it's not. It's also the ability to stand up for stuff that feels right to you. It's the ability to stand up for yourself and others around you. It's the ability to do the right thing when other people don't give a fuck if you fuck up or not. They don't give a fuck. As a child, I was either not standing up for myself or doing a lot of people pleasing. Doing a lot of things that I felt like would engage a certain reaction from the people that control my life at the time. So it wasn't genuine actions of integrity because it still had reward at the end. You know what I mean? It still was like a survival in a sense. Like you don't want to get your ass whooped, so I'm about to perform. You know what I mean? But now I could give a fuck if you believe me or not. I'm gonna move in the best interest of me and those around me, and I'm always gonna move out of love. And anything that around me that doesn't move out of love, that tries to move me out of love, gets total violence. That isn't something that's erratic about me. That's part of my integrity. It's love and complete violence, and you get to pick and choose whatever you want.
So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like as a child that people demonstrated those traits around you, that people stood up for you, that they held their ground and when you were in situations where you needed them to do that for you?
Nope, I didn't even learn how to do it until I just got to a point where there was literally so little left on my soul that if I didn't fight back for it, I would lose every little morsel of myself.
Oh, wow. And so today, if you met a younger version of yourself today, if you bumped into yourself as a child and you got to engage with yourself, that's one of the traits that you would demonstrate for your younger self, correct?
Yeah, easily. It would be more Actually, I would. It would be more trust because a lot of shit that I was going through could have been nipped in the bud if I trusted the people, uh, if I trusted my parents more. So it would be less. I wouldn't have to be as defensive as I am today if I would have trusted the ones around me to be able to let them in enough to know what was going on with me in the first place.
Okay. Gigi?
I have no idea. I was a very angry child, and I'm trying to be, in a sense, the parent that I didn't have, but personality-wise, I'm still, I would say, going through the process of finding balance and becoming the person that I needed, because growing up, I had a lot of issues, obviously, like with asking for help and being able to actually choose myself over the people that I cared about. So no matter what emergency anybody else had, that's like the one thing that I want to do. And only recently did I start choosing myself. Like, this is like where I'm at now. What I'm doing is me in the middle of it. But I went to the extreme side of like absolute disassociation. So I'm still balancing that out.
Okay. So you being a parent, just kind of zoom this in a little bit. What's something that, for whatever reason, you find yourself being overprotective with, or making sure a trait that you demonstrate to your child that you potentially didn't get when you were a child?
Patience, care, and I would definitely say gentleness.
Heard.
I could say that too. I could say patientness, like being patient. I learned, like, having children, that's one thing you gonna have to learn is to be patient. And I can't say my mama them was real patient with me. I don't know if that was the case, but what I've learned now is to be when I became more spiritual, I felt like I woke up something in me that was like, oh shit, like I know how to deal with this world a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I guess when I got closer to God, I felt like I learned how to deal with the world a little bit better, because when I was young, I didn't think about God. You know what I'm saying? My mama always used to keep us praying and stuff like that, but I didn't know how my relationship was in general, like with just me and God outside of my mama, and I had to learn my own relationship with God. Which when I learned that, I was like, a lot of other things I learned along with that. So I was like, all right, cool. I could figure things out more and trust God in a sense of it'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna just kind of tie you back into what we're speaking of. The quote was that the person that you are today is the person that you wish that you had in your life when you was a child. What are some of your traits that you possess today that would would trigger something in you if you saw yourself as your younger version? What is something that you always felt was missing, or something that you developed for yourself because you didn't have it as a child?
You asking me that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be shallow, but I ain't know shit about women when I was a kid. I ain't know nothing about relationships. I was living life fast. Like, I just know I liked the girls and shit like that, but I didn't know like that it'll come with a lot of this shit that I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that, like, how I always used to say I wanted to be grown until I fucking got grown and realized this shit ain't no game. You know what I'm saying? So if I can say that, if I can go back and tell the younger version of myself, like, be patient on relationships and trying to be grown and not understanding what life is about. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll learn the easy way or the hard way.
All right, just so I can get mine out real quick.
I
think one of the things that shaped me the most with my relationships even today that I really had to learn was a trigger response from things in my childhood was unconditional love. So one of my things with my people were like, anybody around me, I'm gonna love you hard, I'm gonna ride for you, da 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 da. You can do a million crazy things. I'm gonna preach to you, talk your head off. I'm gonna ride for you when you ain't riding for yourself. Da 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 da. And I had to learn that was a trauma response from my childhood, where I guess there was a certain situation where I felt like it was always conditional to a certain degree, and so as an adult, it started manifesting itself in ways where like, now I'm gonna show you how it's supposed to be done. It's supposed to be easier because I ain't gonna never look at you as less than. I ain't gonna never treat you like da 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 da, regardless of the mistakes you made. I'm still gonna ride to you, da 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 da. I'm still gonna believe you. Still gonna have hope in you. And it took me a while to like. That really came from trauma of something feeling like as a child that it doesn't matter if it was true or not. It's something that I felt, and it caused as an adult. Now I can see and reflect back on it and be like, yep, that's where it came from. I just had this thing growing up, like, I ain't get it, and I didn't know that's what it was for a long time. But I always wanted to demonstrate that to other people, you know? It's like, you're going to be valued, you know what I'm saying? People just don't quit and just don't give up on people. And it was just something that I'm like, if I met myself today, if I met a younger version of myself, I think I would be safe with me and be like, damn, this person sees me, this person's going to believe in me regardless, and I don't have to question it. So I think that was one of my triggers and my trauma responses. But nowadays, I let people go. You got to learn your lessons. I can't take your licks from you. You got to live your life, enjoy your journey. But I can't be that person for you. I can't stand between you and karma. You got to get it how you live.
Y'all have a blessed night.
All
right, guys. It's a great take.
All right,
thanks for having me on, bro.
It was,
yeah, it was. I gotta get up. I gotta be up at 5 a.m.
Right, cool.
I was literally in my bed getting ready to go to sleep.
Mr. Aries was on the podcast with me, and the lovely Miss GiGi, and my brother, Mr. Captain Brownbeard. You was in tune to another episode of ShoNuff Radio TV. I am your host, Mr. ShoNuff DZ. Y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button, and we will be back, man. Y'all tune in.
Next time.
Next time.